Hello everyone and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our November 21st, 2022 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics including Amy Adams' opinion of Henry Cavill coming back as Superman and whether or not she'll be coming back as Lois Lane. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Legion of Superheroes animated movie, the solicitations for February 2023, Superman comic books, and so much more. We're also going to turn to you to answer any questions or comments you might have about the Man of Steel and to let you know how all that works and how you can get involved in tonight's show. Let me introduce you to my sounding like a little bit stuffed up Michael Bailey. Hey Mike, how's the allergies?
I wasn't as bad until you said it. Now it's all coming out. They're fine. It's just that time from when I took my medicine last till now. I just don't think about it because you work 10 hours a day and you just don't think about things. Mm-hmm. But no one wants to hear about that, though they are going to hear me a little stuffed up today for some reason. I was fine like 20 minutes ago. No, people watching Superman Homepage Live want to hear us talk about Superman, and we want to hear from the people that are watching us talk about Superman. And to do that, it's really simple. If we don't have a whole lot going on, about halfway through the show, we start taking callers, and all you have to do is go to supermanhomepage.com/live and click the call now button, or press it, or whatever you want to do with it. And basically, you'll be put in the waiting room, and you can actually watch the show as you're waiting. It's not like it was before, where we had to tell you to turn down your speakers and stuff. Or if you're not on your computer and you're watching us through your phone, you can actually, or you want to go through your phone. This doesn't make any sense. I'm doing this badly. Anyways, there's a QR code. If you know what a QR code is, you know what it does. Just scan it, and it'll put you right into the room. If you are going to try to call in on your phone, please put in your earbuds, your AirPods, your whatever you want, whatever you use to listen on your phone and stuff. Because if not, it makes this really weird cracking noise. Still can't quite figure out what that's all about.
Yep, and if you're a little bit shy and don't want to get on the phone or don't want to be shown or heard on the show tonight, feel free to post your comments or questions in the chat room there, the comments underneath YouTube. We're keeping an eye on those as the show goes on, and we'll let you know any answers we might have to any questions you might pose. But if you want your question or comment featured on the screen during the show, that's called a super chat. All you do is click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we go to air. There are also super thanks and super stickers that you can also include, so have a go at them. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And don't forget, you can support the show simply by clicking the join button below right there on YouTube. There are different levels of perks for different levels of membership. All right, well, Mike, how's your week been? People might think that, you and I are best buddies, that we're, 24/7 on the phone with each other. I mean, we are best buddies, but, we like...
Yeah, I was about to say.
We're not enemies or anything like that, but we usually don't have we don't really keep in contact unless it's during the show. Like, we kind of really, seriously, it's a week goes by before we, other than commenting on each other's Facebook or Twitter accounts, we don't really catch up too much.
We're both incredibly busy. You've got all your stuff and running the site. I'm constantly at work, so I'm doing fine. It's we're still kind of basking in the glow of the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman, because some people celebrate it on the 17th. I believe that's the Orthodox version of the holiday. Then there's people who celebrate it on the 18th. That's a deep-cut religious joke. There are people in the audience right now probably laughing. But no, it's been a big Superman thing. Like, watching everybody posting covers and posting memories, and 50 billion podcasts all did Death of Superman coverage, and this is all while Twitter is burning down. So this is the kind of the fascinating thing about it, is that Twitter is probably going to be dead within a couple of weeks. So, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Like, I keep hearing everyone saying Twitter is about to die, and Elon Musk and everything going on there with all the cuts, and everyone's jumping over to Hive, which is like another social media similar thing.
Yeah, and there's people doing Mastodon, which I got to admit, this is where my knowledge of the internet and technology hits like a wall. Like, because I'm pretty, I'm on TikTok, so I know that there are things out there. But then someone's like, try Mastodon, so I download the app, and it's just like, which server do you want to go on? And I'm like, what? I have to, I
have to choose
destination now. What the heck is this? So maybe I'll try Hive out and see what that does.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the comic book creators. Philip Kennedy Johnson, amongst others in the Superman world, heading over. They say, look, we're here on Twitter, we're not going anywhere, but we have created a Hive account, which is the exact same handle, and so have we at the Superman homepage, just in case. It's an interesting time, but nevertheless, we're still on Twitter, still on Facebook, still on Instagram. We do have a TikTok account, but I still don't get it to that. I'm showing my age.
There's a level of engagement that TikTok requires to have a successful TikTok account that I don't think either of us have the time for.
and there's not real much return either for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's fun. I've done a couple like in the past week, just like short little fun things that one got. I don't know why I got 2,000 views, but I got 2,000 views. That was shocking. But it's just TikTok is a beast with a black hole of a stomach, and you have to keep feeding that.
Yeah.
And you have to trick the algorithm, and you have to use the right hashtags, and you have to 3-minute videos don't do well. Like short videos do best because of when people are scrolling through their FYP.
Short attention spans.
There are some people out there who are like, Mike, you're speaking gibberish right now, which is fair.
But nevertheless, it still exists, and we're still there. And lots going on in the world of Superman. Heaps of Death of Superman stuff. Had a wonderful time last week speaking with Dan Jurgens. That was an awesome 1-hour interview. The man is so generous with his time, and we could have gone another 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I have met every single, at one point or another over the past 30 years, I have met every single writer from that time period and most of the artists. I have never met, none of them, absolutely none of them, have been a jerk. They have all been like exceedingly nice. They're willing to talk. They're willing to answer questions to the best of their memory, and it's just it's just kind of heartwarming, because sometimes you hear about certain creators that kind of are jerks, like in real life, and maybe they're having a bad day. I don't want to like cast aspersions on people. But it's just like it's been consistent. Like, if you were working on the Superman books during that time period, you were apparently a good person.
You just killed off this Man of Steel. That's all.
He had it coming.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked that out, folks, Dan Jurgens was our guest last week on this very show. So go back and check out the interview with Dan Jurgens on the anniversary of the death of Superman. But this week we've got heaps to get onto. We're going to start with the movie side of things. And Amy Adams was out on the red carpet at the world premiere, or LA premiere at least, of her new film Disenchanted, which is a sequel to Enchanted, the Disney film that is all about her being a princess, coming from a cartoon world into reality. And obviously, she was asked about Henry Cavill returning as Superman and whether or not she'd come back as Lois Lane. And here's what she had to say to Variety.
Henry Cavill back as Superman.
Isn't that exciting?
When did you hear? How did you find out?
I mean, I think I heard from my husband, actually. Yeah. I'm thrilled for him. He's such a wonderful Superman, so I'm very excited for him.
Is Lois coming back?
They haven't spoken to me about it, so...
But do you want Lois to come back?
I mean, if it's me, great. If it's somebody else, the role of Lois has been filled by so many wonderful actresses in the past, so I'll support whatever direction they go.
Thank you, Amy.
Again, very politically correct answer. Very nice, genuine, down to earth.
A friend of mine it's a running gag between the two of us. It's like headline, actress will accept work. No, it's just she seemed more excited about the idea that Henry's coming back than her coming back.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just been, actors are human beings, and they're, she really hasn't worked as the character since 2016. I mean, that's 6 years ago. And, she's gone on and done a lot of amazing work since then. And let's be fair. You watch the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Lois doesn't have a whole lot to do besides sit there and mope. So, if she comes back, I'm completely for it.
Yeah.
Enchanted will always amuse me though, because two things. One, when James Marsden pops out into the real world, there's a giant Superman Returns billboard right behind him. And it's the second film in like 2 years that he lost Lois Lane to somebody. But he got Idina Menzel. So yeah. I'm going to say, if you're gonna lose Amy Adams, Idina Menzel is somebody like that's not a consolation prize. That's a lateral move.
Fair enough. That film just happened to be on TV the other night here, and I caught the end of it. So I know what you mean. Look, I'm with you. I think that it would be great to have her back. People to keep talking about her age. Same with Henry. They're saying it's a long time now. You can play any age. Makeup in movies can do wonderful things. If they can de-age Harrison Ford in the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 movie for a sequence, special effects these days can do anything. Not that Amy needs any special effects. She's still beautiful, young-looking, wonderful actress, and could easily pull off the part of Lois Lane in another couple of films if need be. But we'll wait and see what happens there, what direction they decide to go in. Speaking about the upcoming Superman movie, I've seen a lot of people out there disparaging whether or not Henry Cavill actually has a contract, if there is indeed a Man of Steel 2 movie or a sequel or another Superman film, standalone film actually happening, that nothing's actually been set in stone. And then I saw James Gunn, who is the co-head of New DC Studios, come out saying anybody who claims to know anything about what we're planning is full of crap, because the only two people who know are me and Mr. Zaffron, who are the two co-heads of DC Studios. So anybody out there claiming on the internet to say they know what's happening or they don't know what's happening, or they do know what's not happening, is full of crap.
Yeah, and some of the scuttlebutt I hear on that is that there were some people that had legit like ties and connections into Warner Brothers, and that's gone now. Because it's a new regime. This is what happens. So if I was going to be a conspiracy theorist, I don't have a tinfoil hat nearby, or else I'd put it on. I would say they're leaking, they're doing these clickbait articles just to kind of muddy the waters, because they're mad that they don't have the inside track anymore. Yeah.
Trying to sabotage things, as it would be. So, just hold your water, everyone. There's nothing that we know for sure at this point in time. There is supposedly a report coming out from James Gunn to the DC executives, or Warner Brothers executives, about what their plans are for the next phase of the DC films. But whether or not that will leak to the public or not, you'd never know. But nothing is set in stone at this point in time. So anybody who says that they do know what's happening, take it with a grain of salt.
I'm going to say this. They would not have let Henry talk as much as they've let Henry talk if something wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And he wouldn't be out there putting his reputation on the line if he didn't know something for certain was happening, because he's always in the past said, no, when we know more, I'll let you know, kind of thing. And the cape's still in the closet, but nothing. He had never said I'm back. So now he said it. He obviously has a reason for it.
Yeah. So that's why I looked at those and I was like, this is BS. This is, you've got legitimate sources talking about it, but that's just to generate clicks.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, on the front of movies that we do know about that are coming out, there is an upcoming animated film called The Legion of Superheroes, and we have the Blu-ray and Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray packs, the covers. For those, there is Supergirl front and center. It is set in the same universe as the recent animated films that we've seen, and we do have a trailer for Legion of Superheroes. So let's check that out and give you a better feel for what this animated film will be like. Here is the Legion of Superheroes trailer from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment.
Legion Academy. If you wanted, you could train here. Think of them as the future's Justice League.
It is so great to meet you. I'm Mon-El. This is the rest of the Academy trainees.
We are the front lines, administering justice and preventing war.
Your cousin is a problem. She's failed to control her powers.
Brainiac? I am not going to let you hurt anyone else!
With her abilities, that makes her a threat.
I don't like what you're implying.
We still have no idea where the rest of the Legion is.
I've seen the Dark Circle. Come on, we don't have very much time.
It's up to us. So let's go be heroes.
What? A Batman who doesn't trust a superhero character? Like,
yeah, I'm shocked. This is my shocked face. No, it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed that they're going all out for this Legion. Arm fall off boy is a deep cut.
Saw that.
So just having him as part of it, I mean, they hinted at this in the Justice League animated series of Supergirl going to the future. They had the Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes series for a while there, written by Mark Waid. I'm kind of hoping that this kicks them into gear to get those into a new collection, since Mark Waid is doing so much for DC right now. Good God. No, but it looks fun. I was thinking about it. I was just I was kind of on the fence when I first saw the trailer, but watching it now, I'm like, no, I'm going to be picking this up when it comes out.
Yeah, it looks all right. I don't mind the animation style. Obviously, it's the set in the same universe as the recent Man of Tomorrow animated film. Same voice actors from that film, with obviously new voice actors for the new characters. But this will come out on February the 7th, 2023. On Blu-ray Ultra HD combo pack and Blu-ray and digital starting February 7th. Looking forward to this one. We've got Meg Donnelly as Supergirl, Kara, and we've got Harry Shum Jr. as Brainiac 5, who are the leads of this film.
And Mon-El.
Yes.
Which was nice to see.
Yep, and a lot of the Legion of Superhero characters, as we mentioned. And, we've got the return of Jensen Ackles as Batman. We've got, Bat Bowman as The Flash. And obviously Darren Criss as Superman coming back to voice their character. So Legion of Superheroes comes out February 7th. We'll keep you appraised of any other further updates and let you know when it is available to pre-order. At the moment, no pre-order links are available, but we'll keep you posted for that. Alright, so that's the Legion of Superheroes animated movie. The first trailer for that. I'm sure there might be some coming on further down the track. This was an interesting story, keeping on the movie side of things. Superman the movie obviously had a lot of different actors trying out for the lead role before they finally and thankfully settled on Christopher Reeve. We know that there were people like Sylvester Stallone was interested in the movie, Robert Redford and Burt Reynolds were all considered, Arnold Schwarzenegger of all people, Richard Donner's wife's dentist. A lot of different people were considered for the role, including Nick Nolte, who was not interested. He said he was called in to audition for the part, didn't want to knock him back to say he wouldn't come in audition, but said that to kind of make sure he didn't get the role, he asked them if he could play the roles of Superman, Clark Kent, as a schizophrenic.
Well, that's a way to kind of get everyone to go, nah, we're gonna move on. Not this guy.
And he admits it was sabotage.
Yeah, he really wouldn't have been good for it, but anyways, that's not a Nick Nolte role.
No, but so he said that was sabotage. Would have been very strange to play it that way, but he made sure that he turned them off by asking if he could play the role as schizophrenic. But thankfully, Christopher Reeve was chosen, and the rest is history.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike Zumo says in the comments, apparently you just can't say you weren't interested. You've got to try to do all manner of different things. I guess it's a way of ensuring that you still get called back for different things, because at the time, you never know where your next job is.
You don't want to say no, because it's a cutthroat industry.
Exactly. Burn your bridges. But so that's the movie side of things. On the TV side of the world of Superman, the Titans series, Season 4, continues on HBO Max, with new episodes released every Thursday. And the HBO Max YouTube channel released this video on the mystical villains of Season 4 of Titans. We're going to play a little bit of it for you here. Have a look.
This season is really dark and mystical and different in tone from any other season.
We love doing our superheroes, and it's super great, and nothing's better than a superhero, except for sometimes a villain.
The beauty of being the villain is that whatever rules have been established do not apply to me. No matter where she is, she will dominate the space. Mother Mayhem is also May Bennett. She worked in an office and realized that she had magical powers.
Mother Mayhem.
So there you go, there's just a bit of the villains, mystical villains. Mother Mayhem, played by Franca Potente, and Jinx is the other one you can see in that video, played by Lisa Ambalavana. Anyway, I can't say her name. Ambalavana. I probably still messed it up. But anyway, there's a lot of syllables in that surname. Check out the full video at our website for the mystical villains of Titans Season 4. Yeah, so looking pretty dark, but as I said, new episodes of Titans stream on Thursdays on HBO Max. Not that Titans hasn't ever always been dark, but...
I was about to say, Titans, it can be funny, but it's usually pretty dark.
Yeah. So there you go, Titans Season 4. Check that out on our website. And there's another video there, Superman Doomsday, a doomed fight from the animated film Superman Doomsday, which wasn't the best adaptation, but I won't play the video here, but it was alright, but it wasn't, I think, obviously the Death of Superman was a better version. What do you think?
I'm just laughing at how politic you were with that. It wasn't the best. Like, I'm not gonna come out and say I didn't like. No.
I liked it, but I didn't really love it.
Yeah. Well, it's basically it's the difference between an adaptation and something that is inspired by something. This took the idea of the death of Superman at the hands of Doomsday and took it in another direction when it came out in 2007, it was very exciting because this was the launch of the new direct-to-home media DC animated films, and there was a promise we're going to adapt this and we're going to adapt that. You know, they came out of the gate with Superman Doomsday, and then they did, I don't know if they did the Batman one next, but you know, New Frontier was like very on the heels of that, and it had an excellent set of special features on it back when that was a thing. I just think that over time, like the cracked show of, while it's good, it's not really as faithful as you want it to be, which is why when they did the Death and Return set of films, it was just like, okay, this is still not a strict adaptation, but it got the spirit of that comic and characters. I still hold you can't do a straight adaptation of the death of Superman. The moment Doomsday punches Supergirl and she gets reduced to a pile of pink goo, you're going to have a large member of the audience going, "What?" Like suddenly they're minions. I just like to have red hair and speaking with what some people consider an Australian accent.
Yeah.
So,
and why does Superman have scars on his face?
It was so weird. I mean, but it had a good. I mean, Adam Baldwin was fine as Superman. The late Anne Heche, which is kind of sad to say. I thought she was excellent. James Marsters was great as Lex Luthor. So there's a lot of good things to say about it, but it's one of those things where you don't overly recommend it, but you're like, look, if you want to be a completist or you just want something that's going to entertain you for about 80 some odd minutes, just put it on, but it's not going to change your life.
Yeah. Since we've been talking about it, here's a little bit of it. So yeah, there's just a little bit of the fight that we're talking about from Superman Doomsday, the animated movie. All right, we're at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to take a quick break, play some messages. Thanks to someone who emailed me today. We have a new retro Superman commercial that we'll be playing during this break. So thanks to Bucky, but we'll be back after these short messages talking about the comic book side of the world of Superman. So don't go anywhere. We're also going to do This Week in History and our fan favourite segment, which we didn't get to last week. So we'll be back with those right after this.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Superman. Yes, sir, kids, a real flying Superman that can be yours. Looks just like Superman himself. He's made of tough blue plastic and has a bright red cape that fits on his shoulders. With your flying Superman, you get a powerful launcher to send him sky high, zooming through space just like Superman does in his adventures. Now, you'll want to be one of the first to have your own flying Superman, so listen carefully, because here's all you do to get yours. Send one box top from Kellogg's Corn Flakes and just 10 cents. That's one box top and just 10 cents to Flying Superman, Box 330, Battle Creek, Michigan. Or use the handy order blank right on the Kellogg's Corn Flakes package. Get your Flying Superman from Kellogg's now.
Battle Creek, Michigan.
I think that's a nifty ad. I'm glad somebody emailed that to you.
Yeah, always loved in the radio series hearing getting cutting out a box top and sending it 10 cents or a dime, whatever, to Battle Creek, Michigan.
Yep.
There you go. Put them on the map.
What I like about that ad is that there's not a creepy guy trying to insinuate himself in the lives of the children of the neighborhood.
What was his name?
Dan McCullough.
Dan McCullough, that's right.
I'm sure he was a lovely individual. I'm not casting aspersions on the man in real life.
Not at all. All right, we're just gonna get to the let's do This Week in History. Here you go, Mike.
Yeah. Okay.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Kind of a shorter week this week, but we're going to go back to 1952 for the first one, for World's Finest number 62, where once again Superman, Batman, and Robin are together doing nothing. I mean, at least they're not like letting people die without Superman stepping in. So going to 1962, we got Superboy number 102. Which I think this was like the first appearance of the Scarlet Jungle and the Thought Monster, which is just kind of a freaky idea. That's a great cover, though. Jimmy Olsen, number 66, also came out. I would say Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, but I really don't feel like it. And, of course, we have Perry White getting de-aged and Jimmy growing old.
Yep.
Because...
Why not?
1962. In 1972, Supergirl, with her first solo series. Number 2 came out with a Zatanna backup, and Jimmy Olsen, number 155, also came out. These are the post Jack Kirby. This is when he started going under the moniker Mr. Action, which I think Jimmy was really overcompensating at that point. Jumping to 1982, we got Action Comics number 540. We're still in the middle of the Lord Satanus and Cyrene, I think her name was, fight with Superman.
What is with that top that she's wearing?
It's that those flowers are not
well
placed
positioned
properly. Somebody should have really rethought that, but what are you going to say to Gil Kane? You got the New Adventures of Superboy number 38, where Superboy is apparently fighting everybody. And you, of course, got the Dial H for Hero backup, and World's Finest number 288 in a very weird period of that book's existence. It's only a couple of more, like 2 or 3 years, and that one's gone. 1992, Funeral for a Friend begins in Adventures of Superman number 498. This is like the others. It went through a number of printings where it had the Roman numeral and the logo color was changed. Still, probably one of the best covers of that storyline. I like how you open much like the first part of Doomsday, the cover, you open the cover and the first page kind of reflects that. So you feel like the cover is actually part of the story. Going to 2002, we got JLA number 75, which we're still in the Obsidian Age, though apparently this is the conclusion. Superman Day of Doom number 2. I had forgot. Oh, we're going to go to Supergirl number 76 first. This is weird, because Supergirl number 76 and Superman the Man of Steel number 132 actually go together. It was a weird crossover where you had Mixie in Supergirl and Mixie in Man of Steel, and if you didn't read the Superman Man of Steel issue, there's a scene in Supergirl where the new Supergirl, the one that stepped out of the rocket in issue 75, is talking to Superman, and he's being a jerk.
Huh.
But if you go over to Superman the Man of Steel, you realize that's actually an actor playing Superman.
But
it's never made apparent in the Supergirl. I remember this being a thing on the message boards.
There you go.
Which is something. By the way, if you hear the phrase "that was a thing on the message boards" and you're like, I remember that, please take your ibuprofen for your knee. It's time. But no, I remember them going, yeah, that was supposed to be a crossover. Didn't tell us.
Yep.
So, but you also had Superman Day of Doom number 2. Like I said last week, I forgot that this was weekly.
Yeah.
That was kind of a weird thing. Go back and watch the interview. Dan has some interesting things to say about it. There's your tease, your clickbait article or headline for it. And then in 2012, we got Justice League number 14, which is the second part of the Cheetah storyline. What I like to think of it as them like clocking time until Ivan Reis can get on the book. And you have Girl number 14. Oh God, this is the Hell on Earth storyline. Oh, good God in heaven! Remember when this was like built up to be huge and it sucked?
Good times.
I try to be pleasant and at least somewhat not like I try to do the bless your heart thing, which is the thing here in the South, where you don't want to say something mean, but you really don't like it. Hell was a terrible character. There was no redeeming qualities to that. In the real world, November 20th, Phyllis Thaxter was born in 1921. I believe she was the mother-in-law to Elias Salkind.
Okay, didn't know that.
I think if I'm correct, that's how that went. And Jeremy Jordan was born in 1984. I'm sure he celebrated his birthday by singing "It's all coming back to me now" somewhere.
I forgot to bring his picture with me.
In this episode, Jeremy Jordan would be played by a blank screen. November 23rd, which is Wednesday, Superman and the Mole Man premiered in 1951. This is still a fun movie. I like Superman and the Mole Man a lot. I also like it mainly because Superman has just had enough of everyone's crap in that town. And then in November 25th, Noelle Neal, Lois Lane of stage and of screen and smaller screen, I guess I should say, was born in 1920, and that is this week in history.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Michael. That's awesome. And we didn't get to do that last week either, but we're going to move on to the fan favourite section, which has been a couple of weeks in the waiting. Here we go. All right, Mike, what was our fan favourite question from 2 weeks ago?
What is your favorite image of Christopher Reeve as Superman? And David Rustage wrote in, this is one of my favorite Christopher Reeve photos as Superman. It gives me a feeling of optimism, and who wouldn't want to fly like that?
Yeah, awesome photo. Thank you, David, for bringing that one to our attention. Also, we had Ryan Ignatius Pratt, who said, this is one of my favourite my favourite image of Christopher Reeve would be that from the close of this film, where he can be seen flying above Earth, smiling at the camera, and that is always a really cool moment. Love that. He apologises for not having a clearer image of it for us, but I think we all know it well enough, And thank you, Ryan and David, for those entries. I'm surprised we didn't get more, but there you have it. Those are those. Do you have a favourite one, Mike?
There's two. There's one where he's standing in front of the American flag, and the main reason I like that is I had that puzzle when I was a kid.
Right.
And Rachel found it for me like 20 some odd years ago. So I have it again. I also like it was on a lot of magazine covers of him like flying right towards the camera.
Okay.
With a really serious look on his face.
I think I can grab that one. Superman flying. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it was like the cover. Was it the cover of News? No, it wasn't the cover of Newsweek. It was the cover of Starlog.
I'm thinking it was this one. Let me bring it into the image. That one?
Yep, that's it. Yep. I just that's what I think of. It's a really cool shot of him. The cape is billowing nicely. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This was my favourite image. So I just grabbed this one from quickcapedwonder.com of Chris there on that skyline background pointing up in the sky. Just something about that image that I've always loved. It's just a really classic picture. So there you have it.
I refer to that as it's right there Superman picture.
Look, up in the sky. Oh, hang on. No, I'm down here. So there you go. Those are some of the great images of Christopher Reeve as Superman. But what is our new fan favourite question for this week?
Oh, it's a good one. What is your favourite Superman food item?
Yeah, there have been a number over the years. We've advertised a few of them on this show, from those retro commercials, the hot cocoa, the peanut butter, so many different ones over the years. Let us know. There's been breakfast cereals galore. What is your favourite Superman food item from any era? It doesn't have to be something you necessarily like the taste of, because let's be honest, some of those cereal flavours are horrendous, but it could just be the packaging that you liked or the whole promotional material, whatever it might be. Let us know what your favourite Superman food item is. Email address is right there on the bottom of your screen, info@supermanhomepage.com, and we will read out those entries and show off those images or TV commercials or whatever it might be to go along with them when we return to this segment next week. That is the fan favourite segment. Yeah, Ice Cream Piper reminds us in the comments there, so get involved in the fan favourite segment of our show. All right, let's push.
Cereal, the box probably would have been tasting better than the cereal itself.
So true. So true. We've been speaking a little bit about the death of Superman again this week, and no surprise to see Dan Jurgens tweeted that the Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Special is going back to press for a second printing, with final orders were due on Sunday just gone. But this second printing, it comes with 2 new covers, and here are those images for you right now. We'll just bring those up. There's this sideways one showing you with the 30th logo at the bottom, and it also comes in a black and white variety if you're someone who doesn't, maybe you're colorblind, I don't know, but you just like the images.
Have I given you enough of my money, DC? Seriously? Okay, this one I want them to send me. Okay. This one I bought like 10 covers. They're all sitting behind me right now.
Right.
Did you really have to do a second printing? Really?
So there you have it. Second printing coming out. Don't know when, but it'll we'll let you know when the second printing is available, so Michael can get his wallet out again. All right, but DC did make a big announcement this week. Dawn of DC starts in January. If you're wondering what is Dawn of DC, well, you're not alone. It kicks off a year-long publishing initiative with epic storylines and super creative teams that forge the future one hero at a time. Did you read this press release, Michael? What did you make of it? What are you thinking?
It's really exciting. There's a couple things I like about it. One, it's leading with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the first big, which just makes sense. He's the one that started DC, the DC superhero universe in the first place. I also like that they're spreading it out.
Yeah.
Over the course of the year. I think one of the problems, and Rebirth kind of did it better, but I think one of the big problems with the New 52 is they launched 52 titles in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So you had like 1 month of huge excitement, and then it just, precipitously dropped off the cliff. Here, if you're going to get into all of the DC stuff, you have something to look forward to every month going through most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the solicitations and the, Mark Waid doing a Shazam title, they're bringing the Doom Patrol back, all the stuff with Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Superboy, that I'm excited about that. That looks pretty cool. I don't like the spikes on the leather jacket, though, I will say that.
Yeah, the belt's enough.
Yeah, yes, it is. The studded belt. What did you think?
Yeah, it was kind of dropped at a time where I was like trying to, oh my God, I've got so much on. What's this new big press release? What are they doing? What is this all? So I haven't had a chance to really read through it all, but I was happy to see the Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, which won that DC round robin voting thing a couple of months back, wondering when that was going to come out. So to see that that's part of this dawn of DC, I'm with you. I'm glad that it's, one, starting with Superman, and two, that it's being spread out over the whole year, because when you do a massive drop like that, it becomes too hard to know what's what, who's who, and so they're kind of sporadically spacing it out throughout 2023. You can pick up the ones that interest you. You don't have to have them all. But it's a new era, starting with Superman. We knew about the Superman comic books that were, the new era with the new characters, new designs of costumes and all that kind of thing. Superman #1 coming out, all that kind of stuff. It's really exciting times for Superman fans, and I'm glad to see that it's kind of spanning across the whole of the DC line of books as well.
Yeah, if you're going to have a healthy DC universe, you need to have a strong, diverse line of comics to interest people.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that buy all of them, but, I've got a couple friends, both Aussies, by the way, that do a Doom Patrol podcast called Waiting for Doom, because when they started, they were waiting for a new Doom Patrol series. And then they got one, and then it went away, and now they've got another one. So I'm kind of, it's just kind of exciting. But yeah, Mark Waid on Shazam is just like, why did that never happen before?
Yeah, it's like, wow, it's a foregone conclusion. But so speaking of January, here are the February solicitations. Because we know we already did the January ones last month, but some of the covers that we saw in this Dawn of DC press release are part of the February solicitations. And first and foremost, we have this one, which we've seen before, Superman #1. It's the Dawn of DC. Superman has returned to Metropolis, and his greatest enemy, Lex Luthor, is finally behind bars. The future of the Superman family has never been brighter. As Clark Kent settles back into his life, iconic and new enemies erupt from the shadows to strike down the Man of Steel. But waiting in the wings to back up Big Blue is Supercorp? What secret project has Lex given to Superman? A hero is only as good as their villains will be put to the test in his brand new, oversized #1 featuring comics' greatest superhero by DC Comics architect Joshua Williamson and award-winning superstar artist Jamal Campbell. So there you have it. There's got a number of variant covers coming out with this one as well.
1939, 1986, 2011, 2016, 2018. This is the 7th Superman #1, if you're going to count the Jonathan Kent book.
Okay.
That's a lot. Spider-Man's the same way, so
yeah.
I'm not really like casting aspersions. I'm like that's a lot of #1s.
And the other one coming out in February is the background that's behind me tonight. Action Comics 1052. The crown jewel of Superman's new metropolis is in ruins, and the increasingly violent Blue Earth movement is keeping the entire super family on their toes. Meanwhile, Metallo's powerful new body is evolving in unforeseen horrific ways. As Metallo's life and sanity continue to unravel, he sets out to capture the only person who can help him, John Henry Irons. It's Steel versus Metallo as the new era of Action Comics continues. That is a striking cover.
Yeah, it is a striking cover, but you bring Steel into it, and I'm just happy as a clown.
Yeah.
I'm picking these books up. I put them. I put them back. Yeah, when I picked up my 30th anniversary books, I told him, I'm like, starting now. He's gonna find me the first 2 parts of the current storyline in Action. I've got the Son of Superman books, but I've got it. Yeah, I've got it on the pull list. I'm gonna be getting at least those 3. I'm gonna be getting Action, Superman, and the Adventures of Superman.
Nice.
Because it's. I've been this is weird. I've started to read the Philip Kennedy Johnson run.
Yep.
I read the One Who Fell trade paperback, which, by the way, the storyline where Superman and John go to the other planet and there's like a shadow, the Shadow Breed, I think they were called.
Yep.
Superman plot also really would have fit in with like Doctor Who. In all honesty, and I really enjoyed it. And then I read the first. I got because they were on sale. Because I'm me, I like them cheap. I picked up the first volume of the Warworld Rising trade, and read the first issue, and I really enjoyed it. But what's coming up is more of what I like from Superman. It's him on Earth in Metropolis. There's a family, but it's not completely dominating all of the titles. I'm going to say this now. I think I said it before, but I'm going to keep saying it until I'm proven wrong. I think this Joshua Williams run and this at least this first storyline that he's doing is going to end up being the Hush for Superman. It's going to be the Batman Hush for Superman because of all the villains they're bringing out. It just looks like it's going to be really good, and I want to be there for it.
Cool. Excellent. I'm glad to have you back on board reading the books. I'll be able to talk about them more with you, which is great. All right. Now, do you remember we posted this image a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
And we're all trying to guess who is this performer, who is this singer, who could it be? We were thinking too contemporary. It's even before our time. Sir Paul McCartney of Beatles fame, singing "Wonderful Christmas Time." His obviously Yuletide hit from early mid '70s, I think it would be.
I think so.
Yeah, Paul McCartney on the cover there with Superman doing a duet, singing "Wonderful Christmas Time." Not sure why they needed to hide his.
It created some excitement.
Yeah, it did. True. We're talking about it.
I got one of my buddies, Bob Fisher, who is a Silver Age fan because that's when he grew up. He is also a giant Beatles fan, and I shared that cover with him. I figured everybody else had it, and he's like super excited to get it. It's like his 2 passions mixed on one cover.
I'm a massive Beatles fan as well, so I was like, "Oh, how cool is this?" And
I didn't know that about you.
Oh yes,
see, I'm learning something new every week.
I love the Beatles, but and the Beatles loved Superman because we've had many images, including this one here of Paul reading comic Superman, Jimmy Olsen comic books on his piano. John chose to wear a Superman shirt on the cover of his book that he published. The Beatles were big Superman and Jimmy Olsen and DC fans. So there you go. Paul on the cover of
It's interesting because
World's Finest.
The way comics got over to the UK was kind of weird. So I'm wondering if those are like issues they picked up while they were in America.
Yeah, probably.
And brought back.
Why not? They toured the US a couple of times, so I'm sure they picked up some comic books during their travels. All right, this is what's available for the comic book side of things this week if you're a comic book reader, and there are quite a few to get through, including the penultimate issue of the big 1050 anniversary issue, 1049 Action Comics, which is available in a number of variant covers, including this kind of retro one, a really interesting cover there. And yeah, that's the retro one. Superman in the what's it, 90s with the long hair.
Yeah, it's the 90s one.
Yeah,
I think
there
that's,
you go.
I especially like Crypto on that one.
Yeah. Also out this week is DC Mech number 5, which is available in a couple of different variant covers. And also DC versus Vampires number 11. A lot of penultimate issues out this week. That's available in that variant cover. Plastic Man, that one of Harley Quinn. Also Young Justice Targets number 5 is out this week with Superboy on the cover of both that regular cover and the variant as well. And in the hardcover side of things, Superman and the Authority is, it's a trade paperback, out this week. The hardcover was released a couple of weeks ago or months ago. This is the trade paperback out this week as well. So there you have it. That's what's available this week for comic book readers.
Woohoo!
And a couple of collectibles that really caught people's attention. I was surprised how crazy this one went on Instagram when I posted this image. Not that one, you've seen that. This.
Yeah.
The Target exclusive Funko Pop Heroes Justice League Comics Superman figure. This got like so many different likes on our Instagram account. It's obviously highly sought after, and it's a Target exclusive, so they've picked a good one. But yeah, that's a Funko Pop available to pre-order now from Target for $11.99, so it's not overly pricey. Target.
Nope.
There you go.
I ordered that an hour ago, actually.
Oh, cool.
My pre-order, so.
There you go. And the McFarlane Toys have given us a sneak peek at Con-El Superboy's action figure, Buns of Steel, I'm calling this one.
That S is wrong.
Yes, it is. A lot of people made the mention of that. And there's the spikes on the leather jacket again.
I may have been a little angrier about that than I thought I was. Wow. Learning that I have strong feelings about these subjects.
And XM Studios gave us a sneak preview of a Dark Knight Death Metal 1/4 scale Superman statue that is also going to be released soon. So a kind of shadowy sneak peek at a statue there. But that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's episode. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Superman Homepage Live, spending the last hour with us. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And thank you to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Thank you, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And thank you to all those who participated in the comments, Mike, Geiger, JP, Mark, a couple of others there scrolling back through the comments, Brad, Piper, all of those people. Thank you very much for spending the last hour with us. Michael and I will be back next week on Monday, November 28th for another edition of Superman Homepage Live at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Bye.